Well, I think those 2 years were probably the most impactful years of my life so far. Not only in terms of the very rich and diverse and intense experience that it provided, but also it really planted the seeds, the UWC spirit, and the seeds were to develop and continue to grow over time and bringing along an ongoing and lifelong impact in my life. Academically and socially, the UWC education provides the basis for a world-class university education. In my case, it was Cambridge. Attending the UWC College of the Adriatic in Italy gave me the opportunity to learn a new language and also to travel in Europe, as well as to learn from all the students and teachers from all over the world. More importantly, I would say would be the intangible impact. Those two years really influenced how I conducted my life thereafter. The UWC College made you really realize that we're all very different, of course, because we all came from different backgrounds, race, color of skin, religion, cultures. We realized that we're all very similar as fellow human beings. I think in that we all share, we reacted very similarly to the experiences that we share, all the ups and downs, the moments of joy, the moments of sadness, of anxiety, of pressure. So deep down, you get to realize that, we human beings are very similar. The UWC environment really encouraged us to discuss and see things from all sides, from all angles, and to put ourselves in other people's position without judgment. I think all that really helped me to shape my character, and as I mentioned, the way I conduct my life thereafter. For example, I think I became a more open-minded person, to accept and respect different opinions, to be a more responsible person, not only to myself, but to others and to the world, to have compassion, to have a sense of adventure. I think that's very important. And also, I think to be courageous in facing adversity. And I think all that made up to one word, which is to make us better citizens of the world. I have a profession in investment banking and finance, and I think this is not a typical industry in which you make a difference as such, not like medicine or education or politics or science. But I think, as I mentioned, is the UWC spirit that stays on, and I think that really impacts on how I conduct myself and perhaps influence others in my job. For example, in the finance industry, I think it's quite important to uphold very high ethical standards because we come into contact with a lot of what we call insider information. And if we act on those information, that would not be ethical. But it is, after all, a very money-oriented industry. So I think it is important to uphold those ethical standards. And be very cautious of conflicts of interest, in dealing with clients, and be very cautious with dealing with confidential information. Well, I think the UWC values are more relevant than ever in today's world because of all the issues of war, environmental issues, and inequality, poverty that we still see today. And perhaps let me quote from the UWC mission, which was there 40 years ago, and I think it's still very relevant today. It says, UWC makes education a force to unite people, nations, and cultures for peace and a sustainable future. I'd like to share an example. Today, I am connected with about 200 people through WhatsApp, and they are all ex-students from my years, at the Adriatic College. And what I want to say here is that 40 years on, we are still connected. And that is through a sense of belonging to this unique international community that UWC brought about to us, and also connected through a sense of giving back together. So in this WhatsApp group, we do things like sharing our family photos and our vacation experiences, but we also talk about international issues. We sign an anti-war petition together. We also raise funds to help a Syrian refugee in Canada to be reunited with his family. So I think what I want to say is that the UWC spirit lives on, and they continue to impact our daily decisions and how we conduct ourselves on a daily basis.